joining us in studio. And we love it when we can say that about our next guest because it doesn't happen often, is our good friend, ESPN college football insider and 1984 national champion center, Trevor Matich. Trevor.
What's up, Trevor?
Welcome back, man.
Good morning. Yeah, it's good. It's great to be here with you guys.
Good morning. What in the world?
It's good to be here in your sandbox, in your playground, because it really is your playground here.
We just witnessed something amazing. Leon White was here. Eddie Stinnett and Adam Haysbert came in with them and kind of hung out. And the four of you interacting there was so fun. What was it like? And that's just a taste of what it's going to be like tonight, but to interact with your teammates.
The thing is, some of us had the luxury of being able to see each other a lot. Many of us don't. And we'll see each other with years separating the meetings. And it's like we've never been apart. It's just amazing. I mean, I haven't seen Adam forever, or really Leon or Eddie. I haven't seen either one of them for years. And all of a sudden, we're talking about stuff, and it's like we're in the locker room getting dressed, ready to go out to practice. It's the exact same thing, and it's because of what we went through together, the emotional bond that creates. It's not just a bond where, hey, we know each other, and we like each other, and we love each other, and that's all important. But the emotional bond, because of what we gave each other in quest of something that was very important to us, and that's those championships. That drives us together in a way that I think very few people in society could really understand. And it's one of the things that football players miss the most when their playing days are over. It's that camaraderie.
We just talked with Leon White about this, but I want to ask you kind of the same question. We heard from Lee Johnson that over 500 former players have officially RSVP'd tonight. No idea how many more are going to show up, but what does that number and that this kind of reception for Coach Edwards tell you about the impact he had on his players?
Well, I think it's just the start. It's just the start, because this is just sort of one of those things that nobody wants to miss, being together with their brothers and their sisters at a time like this. And part of it is to grieve. Part of it is to celebrate. Because when you look at Coach Edwards' life, what you see is a life well lived. You see a life that is based on the foundation of faith and family, and that everything else is built from that. I tell people at ESPN when they ask me about Coach Edwards and about why he was so impactful, I tell them that there are a couple of quotes that are well known around BYU. One is, "No success compensates for failure in the home." Another is, "The greatest gift a father can give his children is to love their mother." And LaVell Edwards based his life around principles like that. And then from that core, he branched out into his career and community and the other things that have brought so many other people around him. But it's that solid rock of a foundation on family that made LaVell able to influence so many other people as he branched out away from the people that were his immediate family.
Trevor, what ultimately convinced you with LaVell Edwards in the recruitment and whatever to come to BYU? What role did he play in that?
Well, it was mostly Tom Ravage, defensive line coach, who did most of the recruiting. When LaVell Edwards, when I met him here on the recruiting trip, it was like I had met this figure that was from another planet. Because a lot of football coaches are football coaches. They're all excited and they're football coaches. LaVell had gravity. LaVell was more. And wow, this guy was just such an intense figure without being overbearing. It was amazing, because most people that are that intense are people that also strike a bit of fear. LaVell was the opposite. LaVell was intense, and he drew you into him because you wanted to be. And that was a big part of it. The reason I came here, it came down to, I was recruited by schools in the Pac-10 at the time, now Pac-12, and BYU. Those were my recruiting trips. I was recruited by others, but my 5 recruiting trips were those places. It came down to one of those Pac-12 schools in BYU. And on the Pac-12 recruiting trip, they took me around to these frat houses where they were having all these wonderful frat parties, partaking in beverages and in activities that weren't part of my lifestyle as a LDS teenager. And I came to BYU, I found a whole lot more people that wanted to live, or that did live a lifestyle like I wanted to live. And I think that's one of the misnomers. People outside of this community think that BYU recruits in spite of the honor code. But here, when you talk to the people that actually are inside BYU football, they'll tell you that they want the people who want to live this lifestyle. And there are a lot of high school football players out there and other athletes that want this kind of lifestyle. This is the way they already live. BYU doesn't want to shoehorn people into the honor code. They want people that say, yeah, that's the kind of people I want to surround myself with. And that was really the decision that made me come here. And I became, a person that participated along with my teammates in a whole lot of championships and then went on to the next level. And the biggest reason I came here, because the way I saw it, the church is anywhere you go. Right? I don't have to come here to find the church. I grew up in the church. And so I came here because of the honor code, essentially. Isn't that crazy?
How about that?
Yeah.
Trevor, we appreciate the spirit and the charisma and, the feeling of calm that you bring to the situation and to Studio B about LaVell Edwards. We've appreciated everything that you've said over the past week and for all that you've done for us here on this show. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to have you in studio, too.
Yeah, it's great to be here with you guys. And once again, just as I have kind of gone through my personal processes with LaVell, the grief is real. The celebration is the thing that will continue and go on and on and on and on. This was a man who lived a life well lived. And if anybody deserves the statement, well done, thou good and faithful servant, it's LaVell Edwards.
Well said. Trevor, a pleasure as always.
Thank you.